leaving the armed forces brings about some teething issues, if you like. When I left the armed forces, I can't believe it's 11 years ago. I have no idea where that time went. But anyway, 11 years have passed since I left the armed forces. And when you're leaving the armed forces, we went through something called Career Transition Workshop. Now, Career Transition Workshop is meant to be a series of workshops that help you get through that transition, funny old thing, from military service to civilian life. In reality, though, you're never really a civilian. You're always a veteran. Now, you can do courses. You can do, you get credits towards education, where you can go to a number of companies and a number of different industries and skills, and you can do their courses. Them courses stand you in good stead for Civvy Street, which is great. People have done plumbing courses, electrician courses, you name it, have probably done it on the Career Transition Workshop. The hardest thing that they didn't really teach you when you're coming up to leaving the military is how it's going to be different for you. Now, you might find this funny, you might find this humorous, but when I left the army and I went for my first dental appointment, I actually didn't know that I had to pay. Seriously. I said to my wife, I've just been asked to pay money for the dentist. She was like, yes, Craig, that is normal. I was like, really? She goes, yes, it's only free in the military. I could see this transition into Civvy Street was going to be difficult for me. In reality, I had my teething problems. Nothing too serious. But a lot of servicemen and women do. They just cannot settle, and they can't find their feet, and they can't find their true north when they get out. For me, I just realised that I was different. I was different, not different better, definitely not different bad. But I was different. I had been institutionalized in a military environment. Everything I'd done was military from the age of 17. I'd only been 17 1 month when I first started to get institutionalized in the military. And that lasted until I was 40. So as you can see, living, breathing, eating, shitting, that environment for 22, 23 years is a long time. And things become ingrained in you that you just can't change. Some things you don't want to change. There are a lot of things we are proud of being veterans. We like to place pride on being punctual, being smart, being honest, being truthful, being reliable, and having integrity. Yes, integrity. But the language is different as well. You know, the words and phrases you learn in the military, they're just not used in Civvy Street. People don't know what POL is. I'm going to POL the motor. What the fuck's POL? POL, petrol, oil, lubricants. Everyone knows that, right? It means making sure the car is fueled. It's got fuel in the tank and it's running and it's roadworthy. POL, come on. Other things like using the word jack. If someone's jack, what do you mean by jack? You know what jack is. Like you jack bastard. Jack bastard means being selfish, being inconsiderate, being jack. Or maybe you refer to your washing. Doby. Doby. Yeah, Doby. Doby's washing. That's what we call Doby. And there are so many other things that I could mention. And that's just the language side of things. I dealt with a casualty once in a shop. No, I didn't cause it. And when the ambulance turned up, I told her, the ambulance and paramedic, that I put the casualty in a 3/4 prone position. They were like, the what? I was like, the 3/4 prone position. You know, 3/4 prone. They're saying to me, excuse me, sir, have you got any sort of medical training? It was at this point the penny dropped and I thought, they don't know what 3/4 prone is. They call it recovery position in Civvy Street. Anyway, as well as the language and the words and the way that we are, and the fact we like to use the word cunt, fuck, bastard, shit quite a lot, we are different. I realised when I went to work my first corporate job, very famous mobile phone provider. I was a security manager. I worked for a guy who was a complete and utter cunt. I can say that because he was. I learned very quickly that when civilians in the corporate world ask for your opinion, they don't actually want it. Because you see, when you ask a squaddy, a person who's been in the military all that time, for their opinion, it's really important that you're truthful and you give them genuine opinions. Because in a military environment and you're asking for someone's opinion, on some occasions it could be a really important situation where someone's life could depend on it. You've got to be truthful, you've got to be honest, you've got to say what you believe. Now, of course, there's no need to be rude. You don't have to swear at people. But sometimes it helps using swear words just to flourish and embellish the point you're trying to get across. So I learned quickly that when they ask for your opinion, they actually don't want it. That was just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many other things. I can't stand liars. I really can't stand bullshitters. And I just can't stand people who say they've done things that they haven't, or that they knew something that they clearly fucking didn't until you told them. I mean, why? What do they get out of that? Now, I was quite a mild transition to Civvy Street as a veteran, but there are some people out there who really, really struggle. Some people who would rather react physically with incompetence than verbally and deal with it as management. If you kind of see where I'm coming from. But the whole point of this little video is just to explain that getting out of the military and going to Civvy Street is actually quite difficult for some people. There are differences for everyone. Everyone will see differences. And the language is just some of them. We are different. We are institutionalized. So if you meet a veteran for the first time, I'm not saying, you know, I don't know what I'm saying, but just understand them. They're different. We're different people. And the longer they've served, the fucking bigger they are different, if that makes sense. The wider the margin of difference. I've done 23 years. And one of my biggest traits is I don't suffer fools. I say it how it is and I mean it. And if that means telling you to your face, I will. And you'll find that a lot with service people. We don't like Walters either, Walter Mitties, people who pretended that they were in the military and they weren't even in the fucking Cub Scouts, let alone the army. Anyway, I digress. If you've got friends who have met veterans, or you meet a veteran, just understand that we are different. We did try to integrate, but we can't. We are veterans. We will always be veterans. Nothing will stop us from being veterans. We will always feel that we have the ability to wait for that call and sign back up. We always feel that pride for our country. We'll always feel the need for certain standards and discipline in one's life. But we are different. So just understand that. But we're not bad. Well, not all of us.